Hi, I'm Pam Massey, National Ambassador for Baby Lock and Designers Gallery Education. Over the past 20 years, I've created a variety of projects with Baby Lock and Designers Gallery. I've traveled across the country teaching you how to sew and how to use the embroidery software to get the most out of your machine. I've been using Designers Gallery embroidery software since the development, and I'm excited to share with you some of the highlights of this suite of software developed with you in mind. With me today is Brian Bailey. He's the software guru and developer of Designers Gallery. Brian has been developing Designers Gallery software for over 10 years and travels around the country lecturing and demonstrating this great software suite. Have you ever had a design come out bad? I know all of you are thinking, who hasn't? That's why DensityWorks was created. DensityWorks cleans up embroidery designs that are too dense or poorly digitized. Perfectly stitched designs on any fabric by finding the correct density for every project. Save time by automatically adjusting stitch count, ensuring that designs never sew out too loose or too tight. Brian, can you tell us how this works?
This program works by asking you what you're going to be sewing on. Then it analyzes the density of your embroidery design and adjusts it. Now I'm sure you're wondering if it takes an embroidery instructor camped out a week at your house to get you up and running. No, it doesn't. You can have the program do everything automatically, or you can control it manually. Like our other Designers Gallery tool packs, running DensityWorks is also this easy. And as an added bonus, you'll love the Project Advisor. This feature was such a hit in DensityWorks that we carried it over to Studio 3 and created similar dialogues in Masterworks 2. The Project Advisor gives you suggestions on the needle type and size, as well as stabilizer, hooping method to use, and even thread and thread weight. It's like having your own personal sewing advisor in your sewing room. This feature alone will give you confidence to try a project that you never before would have considered.
This is great, but what does it really do for me? Surely there's more projects to do than the Sewing Advisor.
You're right. By reducing the number of stitches in your design, DensityWorks saves you an incredible amount of time. Even with today's fast stitching machines, 1,000 stitches is still taking around 3 minutes. And the thread savings, the number of bobbins saved, and the frustration of failed embroidery all add up. Just imagine tackling a project and knowing that it will sew okay before you even start.
That's right, Brian. Here I have a blouse made from a lightweight fabric. Normally, I would have never dreamed of placing an embroidery design on such a fine fabric, but with DensityWorks, I knew it wouldn't be a problem. The original design was much too dense to be sewn on this type of fabric. It would have pulled in every direction and left me with a bunched up mess. Instead, I took the design into DensityWorks, and by simply sliding the density tuning bar to a 17% decrease, I achieved the design reduction of 10.2%, and the program automatically removed over 800 stitches. Look at the final result. You can't even tell that over 800 stitches were removed, and the fabric isn't pulling or bunching. I reduced the density and still kept the pattern and fill of the embroidery intact, and the size of the design didn't change. Using the same tool, you can do this in reverse as well. For this coordinating purse, the density tuning bar was slid in the other direction to sew the same design on this faux fur. Again, the design stitched beautifully. And Brian, just look at what we're saying. You don't even have to waste your fine fabric when you're stitching it out to test it. With DensityWorks, I knew I was going to get the best result on the first try. We used DensityWorks for this sling bag as well. We knew the original design was not going to stitch out well on the corduroy, but after taking it through DensityWorks and a test sew out, we got it perfect for this project. That's the great part about this program. It allows me to embroider fabrics that I would have never considered embroidering before. I wouldn't have ever thought that I could put some of the same designs on fine linens and faux fur and have it look amazing on both. Brian, all this is great, but can it do more?
Yes, it can remove hidden stitches too. Now you can combine designs and have them overlap. In the past you couldn't do this because the area where they overlap would have too many stitches. This tool can automatically find those overlapped areas and cut out the stitching underneath, so that the design can sew flat. Suppose that you wanted to create a 3-horse design such as this, but your design was only 1 horse. To get this effect, we simply duplicated the horse and copy and pasted it on top of itself. By positioning one to the left and one to the right, we were able to get this design. Last, we removed the hidden stitches. That flattened the result so that the design looks nice and it's sewed easily.
Sometimes I have clumping in the design as well. You know what I'm talking about. It's when the machine sews repeatedly in the same place, and you just know the thread is going to break, or maybe the needle, and then the machine starts to jam up. If I don't get the design stitched out, then there's always going to be pulling and puckering on my fabric. But with the declumping feature, I don't have to worry about it.
That's right. The declumping removes all the excess stitches from poor digitizing, as well as those annoying sections where the design sews over itself. The result from this program will save you a lot of time, but be sure to test sew to ensure that your design will sew perfectly for your project.
The snowmen go all the way around the Christmas tree skirt, incorporating CustomWorks, SizeWorks, and DensityWorks. The designs were merged together in CustomWorks. SizeWorks was then used to resize the design in order to fit around the tree skirt. Lastly, we took the merged and resized designs through DensityWorks to work out all the areas that were too dense and had clumps. For this example, the stitch count was reduced by over 17,000 stitches. The Designer's Gallery product line is designed to expand as your skills grow, and with the great products in the line, you'll be sure to find a program or tool pack that fits your needs.